Thank you so much for clicking on my channel and for joining me for this review of Seeking Brother Husband, Season 1, Episode 6, season finale as well, My Two Dads. So, this is it. This is the season finale. I'm pretty sure we will never see this show ever again. I don't think it did that well. I don't know. I'm just speculating, just from the caliber of the show. I don't think it did that well. I don't think that there's this interest in brother husbands as there is in sister wives. And I really was trying to avoid saying this in my previous reviews, but somebody in my comment kind of expressed what I was really feeling about the characters on the show, which is these women are just looking for sexual partners. That's all this is. Except for maybe Kenya. I mean, Kenya is definitely feeling her sexuality, and she makes it very much known that sex is important to her and she likes to be sexual with her men. But I think Kenya is the only one that's got like a functioning brother husband type of household, because they all live together. They actually live together, and I'm pretty sure that they all contribute to, the household expenses, that all three of them are working. At least the two men are. I don't know if Kenya is, but the two men are. And so with Kenya, there's like some type of structure there. Even though she is looking for additional partners and she's a very sexual being, there's some type of like familial structure. Whereas the other women, I think they're just looking for sexual partners, and somehow they have bamboozled their husbands into believing that this is some type of an identity and this is some type of a lifestyle that they need to accept. Because you have Alyssa and Mike. Okay, Mike is being completely brainwashed, in my personal opinion. I agree with Mike's mother 100%. He is being brainwashed and manipulated by Alyssa. Alyssa just wants to get her freak on, but she wants to keep Mike around because he probably has a good salary and he's taking care of her financially. I know that she works as well, but she probably thinks that she's not going to find someone that quickly or that easily that makes as much as he does or makes more than he does. And I think she's keeping him around for financial security. And somehow she has convinced this man that she has to live this lifestyle, this polyandry lifestyle. And he's going along with it, like like a goofball. He's just going along with it. But I think that she wants to keep him for financial security, but she really wants to sexually connect with other men. And Mike's okay with that. And I don't see how Mike doesn't. And I think that's the reason why she doesn't want to have any kids. I think that's why she doesn't want to have any children with him, because she's like, this is not what this is about. I'm not ready to settle down and be a mom. There are just way too many. I'm going to use the word men. I'd rather use another word, but there are just way too many men out there for me to explore. There are too many men out there. And I think what happened was when she cheated on him and convinced him to stay with her, I think a light bulb went off in her head, and she was like, oh, so I can get my freak on out there in these streets and my husband will be okay with it and he'll stay with me. And so then that's how she came up with this whole polyandry lifestyle, to be like, this is who I am and this is my identity and this is what I need to make me happy. And yeah, I agree with Mike's mom that he's being controlled and he's being manipulated, and he thinks that he's being a good guy by forgiving his wife for cheating and staying with her and allowing her to be with other men. So yeah, you're paying the bills. You're basically paying for your wife to get her back blown out by other men. And that's another thing about Alyssa. She doesn't even want another husband or another life partner to move in with them and to integrate into their home, because I guess Mike doesn't like that idea. But that's even better for her, because that means that she can just go through a whole bunch of men as quickly as she wants and doesn't have to worry about cultivating a relationship and moving these men into their home and, creating this family bond and this, everybody has to get along and creating this relationship amongst everybody. She doesn't even have to worry about that. All she has to do is go out on dates, do whatever the hell she wants to do on these dates, and then come back home to her husband. And his only requirement is, don't bring him into my bedroom. That's his only requirement. Mike, if you're within the sound of my voice, you're being made a fool of. You're being made a fool of, Mike. Your wife is out there. She's out there. Okay. I can't say what I want to say. Your wife is out there and you're paying the bills and you're working hard from 9 to 5 and you're providing this financial security for her while she's out there giving her body to other men, and you're perfectly okay with this. And that's another thing. The fact that she just wants a boyfriend, does not want a husband or a life partner to move in and to contribute to the household. Just so these men are getting all the pleasure of your wife, and they're not even contributing to your household. They're not buying no damn groceries. They're not paying out one electric bill. They're not cutting out one grass in the front yard or the backyard. And you're okay with this, Mike. They're just using your wife for their pleasure and vice versa. And here you are working hard to keep a roof over y'all's heads, to make sure that all the bills are paid, to make sure there's food in her belly, to make sure that she's, right and tight for these men out there, getting her ready for the streets, Mike. That's all. You're getting your wife ready for the streets. And that's why she doesn't want to have any children. She ain't about family. She's not about family. She is out there wilding out. She's acting like she's out there wilding out. She's out there. I can't say nymphomaniac because I'm not a doctor to diagnose somebody with that type of condition, but she's out there wilding out, having a grand old time. And she doesn't even want to bring the men, like, she doesn't even want them to be like a husband to her. Okay, moving on. Okay, let's just move on. Let's start off with Kenya, Carl, and Tiger. So Kenya, Carl, and Tiger, we meet Kenya and Carl's children, their daughter and their son. They have 2 sons and a daughter together. And so we meet their children, and the children are great with this. They're grown now, they're adults now, but they said that they first found out about their parents living this polyandry lifestyle when they were like 7, 8, 9 years old. And Carl and Kenya tell us that they explained to their children what it was. They didn't hide anything or sugarcoat anything. They told them exactly what it was, that, mommy wanted to have other partners. And somebody in my comments had said that at some point, Carl also had other partners as well, but the show was only showing us Kenya having other partners. So they told their children this is the kind of lifestyle that mommy and daddy want to live, and this is how it is. And so the kids love it. They're like, we always had a mother figure and a father figure other than our parents, and we got along with everybody, and it was great for us. And they made a joke about, you would ask one parent for money, and if they didn't give it to you, you can go, you had like 6, all these other parents lined up that you can go ask for money. So, and they're also very close to Tiger. Now, Tiger has been in their lives for about 10 years now. So Tiger actually helped raise them. They're close to him. They love him. And it's great. They're all happy. And now Tiger can fully be happy because he's going to have his damn commitment ceremony with Kenya. So, the day of the commitment the day of the commitment ceremony, all the kids are there. Tiger himself has one child. I think the child is like, he looked to be about high school age. So he has one son, and his son was also in attendance. And David, which is Kenya's potential new partner, like old partner, now new partner, because she dated him a few years ago, and he's back in her life now. David was the only one not there. Now, he couldn't make it because of work, but he is going to be seeing her periodically. Kenya has said that, yes, David is going to be a part of my life, and she is still going to move forward with getting Tiger out of her room, so that she can get her own room back and have whoever the hell she wants in that bedroom with her. So Tiger is really happy about the ceremony. They do the ceremony. It was a really beautiful ceremony. It was outside. It was like some type of a traditional African ceremony type of thing, and it was beautiful. Everybody looked really nice. Everybody was dressed in white, and it was a lovely ceremony. So they're happy now. At the conclusion of their story, it said that Tiger and Kenya had their honeymoon in Curacao, and they're building a 3-bedroom home. And Kenya is now dating 2 new men in hopes of finding a potential husband number 3. So that's how their little story ended. Moving on from them, we have Kim, Dustin, and Vincent. So Kim and Dustin, they have a conversation about what the hell are they going to do about mopey dopey Vincent, because Vincent, he is not down with Kim seeing other people. He doesn't like it at all whatsoever, and he's really struggling. And Kim has told Vincent time and time again, well, I ain't stopping. The train is not stopping. Either you get on board or you get left behind, but this is what it is. So I feel like my camera is so crooked. So I don't know what to do here. So they decide that Kim is going to have a conversation with Vincent, just the two of them, one on one. So she meets Vincent by this really beautiful lake, and they sit down and they have a conversation. And Kim says that today's the day that she's going to have to get a definite answer from Vincent. He can no longer be, hemming and hawing, like not really knowing what to do, needing time to think about it. She says he needs to give me a definite answer if he's going to stick with us and allow me to be me and explore myself with other men, or he's gonna move on. So they start talking, and Vincent decides that he cannot go on like this. He's like, no, I really can't do it. I thought about it and I can't do it. So Kim starts crying because she knows that she's losing him as her partner. And she says that both her and Dustin love him very, very much. And unfortunately, she cannot be what he wants her to be because, she's got a lot of freak left in her and she's not ready to settle down with just Dustin and Vincent. So they go their separate ways. But we find out at the end that they still remain friends, and it was just like a platonic friendship. There was no romance anymore between Kim and Vincent, but they still maintained their friendship with him. And that Kim never did go out on a second date with Ryan, the guy that she went out on that roller skate date with. She never saw him again, and she's not actively seeking another partner. Right now, her and Dustin have put a pause on that, but she is still very much open to having multiple partners. So we talked about Alyssa and Mike and how Alyssa is manipulating and brainwashing the hell out of Mike. So they're at the beach and they talk about meeting up with Mike's mom and how that meeting went. And so Alyssa was upset because she was like, your mom thinks that I'm forcing you to be a part of this polyandry lifestyle and I'm forcing you to not have children with me. And why couldn't you speak up more? And Mike was very apologetic. He was like, well, I'm so sorry, Alyssa. You're right. I'm going to tell her, I'm going to meet up with my mom again. I'm going to tell her that we don't want children. We really hate kids and we don't want them. But you can tell that Mike really does want children because he brought it up in front of the family. I think because he was hoping that obviously the grandparents were going to be down with having kids, and maybe he thought that would have put pressure on Alyssa to reconsider having children, because I think Mike wants just to have a traditional marriage where there's no polyandry, there's no additional men around. It's just him and his wife and the possibility of them having kids in the future at some point. And so I think that he was hoping that her parents and his mom would put the pressure on her to consider having children, but that completely backfired because she actually got upset. And so she was like, I don't want children just because I'm a woman and I have a uterus and I have ovaries and I have ovaries. It doesn't mean that I have to have kids. I have to produce children. I don't want children. And I thought we decided on that. And he was like, okay, yes, Alyssa. Yes, you're right. Like he got scared, right? Hey, Mike, if you like it, we love it. But you're just taking care of a woman who really wants to be with other people more than she wants to be with you. And you're allowing it. You have no idea what the hell is going on. And why don't you get pregnant by somebody else? Plot twist. So the way that their story ends is that Alyssa is still actively finding a new partner. And Mike says that he still supports their polyandry lifestyle. Moving on to Shara, Patrick, and Valentino. So all three of them go to the OBGYN. I was like, what? Why? Why are all three of y'all sitting in this doctor's examination room? What does it matter how many people she's sleeping with or how many partners she has for her to get a checkup? It was just for a damn scene. And it made me so upset because it was so... my husband doesn't go with me to the OBGYN. Okay. So she tells her doctor that she really wants to have children. I guess they had ran some tests before on her because I just find it hard to believe that from her checking her heartbeat and then doing an ultrasound of her uterus that she was able to, anyways, whatever. So the doctor does the examination, without the men in the room. The doctor does the examination to see whether or not she has a healthy uterus and, the probability of her having kids. And the doctor says that her uterus, her ovaries look great. She does have a couple of fibroids, but they're not in a critical area of her uterus. So she is very fertile. She's got the ovaries of a 20-year-old, I think she said. So yeah. And then they tell us that Shara and Patrick, her husband Patrick, that they are not intimate because the doctor said that, you have a high probability probability of getting pregnant if you are having sex every single day. And she tells the doctor, well, me and my husband, Patrick, we're not intimate at all. And I still never really got an answer as far as why they're not. Does he have low T? Is he just not, like, what the hell is, I don't know. But anyway, so evidently they're not doing anything, so the only one that can get her pregnant would be Valentino. Now Valentino says that yes, he's open to having kids, but just not right now, because he's got this business deal that he's waiting to get finalized, and if it goes the way he wants it to go, then I guess he's going to get a whole bunch of money or something, and then he'll be more open to the idea of starting to have a family with Shara. So Valentino, he drops in for a visit because he lives in Texas and they live in Georgia. So he comes to visit them, and Patrick asks him, so this whole long distance thing, like, exactly how does that work out if you and Shara are going to be actively trying to have a baby and y'all are in this relationship together? So how does this work if y'all are living in two separate states? And he says that, his business is mobile, so he'll be able to travel anywhere or live anywhere and still conduct business. So he's considering moving to Atlanta. So then later on, we see all three of them. Later on in the day, actually, Shara comes out and she joins the two men, and she tells them that her period is late by 3 weeks. She's 3 weeks late on her period. And so Patrick hyperventilates, and Valentino, his eyes just pop right out of his head. And Valentino was like, I knew that it was going to happen. I just didn't think it was going to happen this soon. So they're all in a panic, like, oh my God, oh my God. But I'm thinking, if you're 3 weeks late, if you know you're 3 weeks late, you would have taken the test by now, right? So either you took the test and it's negative and you're just playing around, or you don't have it all together. Because if you're 3 weeks late, you would have taken a test by now, right? I'm not understanding. And if it's too early for a test to tell you, why are you telling them? Why wouldn't you wait until, more time has gone by where you can have a test to confirm whether or not you're pregnant and then tell the men? I don't know, but she was like, well, I'm 3 weeks late. And that's basically all that she could say, because she hadn't taken a test. Didn't look like she was planning on taking a test. So everybody was like panicking for nothing. So it was just all for a scene. It was all for show. She probably wasn't even late. She was probably on her period as she was saying this. So later on, so that's the end of them, right? And what it says here was that Shara ended up not being pregnant. Of course, we knew that. She is still with Valentino, and Valentino actually moved in with her and Patrick. And that's how this season of Seeking Brother Husband ended. It was very confusing at times. It made no sense. The only thing to me that kind of made sense was Kenya and Tiger and Carl, because they were actually all living together and they had a household to maintain and they were raising children together. That's the only thing that made sense to me. And she took full advantage of having two men. She had them do honey-do list every single damn day. So that's the only thing that made sense to me. Everybody else really didn't make much sense. Shara and her husband are not sleeping together because for whatever reason, they're just, I don't know what's going on. They're not doing it, even though they're the ones that are legally married. Valentino moves in and he seems to be like, okay, maybe Shara, Patrick, and Valentino, that's also more like a family type of situation as well. But I don't think this show is coming back for us to know whether or not it actually worked out amongst the three of them. And then Kim and Dustin, she's not even looking for anybody right now. She's just chilling with Dustin. I think they just wanted to get rid of Vincent so that they can do their own thing together. He was probably getting in the way. And then Alyssa, like I said before, her husband is just facilitating her hoish lifestyle. I don't know. Moving on. So that is the end of the season. Thank you so much for joining me for every single episode or for dropping in now and then. It's all good. I really do appreciate any time that you spend with me. And on your way out, please do not forget to rate the video. Go ahead and subscribe. And then maybe I'll see you next season for season 2 of Seeking Brother Husband. Bye.